Hi, this is Judy from Fox Cities Quilt Company, and this is Sunday from the Sewing Room. So today I want to talk to you about a couple of things. You know, we have a strip club where we make 4 patterns a year, and they all use 2.5-inch strips. But a lot of those patterns call for accent fabrics, and they give you yardage, and you have to cut 2.5-inch strips anyway. And it takes quite a bit of time because you do a lot of squaring up and moving the fabric. But I want to tell you about a ruler that I use, and it is called, let me grab the label, it's called the Stripology Xl Ruler. I really like this ruler, number one, because it has a whole lot of grooves on the back. Or the adhesive, so it's not going to move at all. Also, it will give you, you don't have to think a whole lot to get your 2.5-inch strips because it has markings across the bottom. It has markings across the bottom for 1.5-inch as well as 2.5-inch strips, and I'm going to show you how we do that. All right, so once you have your ruler and you have it laid out, you can see obviously that your fabric, when it comes off the bolt, is too wide for your ruler. And that's not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're just going to simply fold your fabric in two. And it doesn't actually have to be precisely in two, it just has to be doubled over so that you can fit it underneath your ruler. The next thing that you're going to do is obviously you want to square up your fabric so that you want that to be at, you want to start with a nice clean edge. So you can see this 0 mark. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line my fabric up so that it is even across the bottom on that white line, and you can see that my folded edge gives me a nice straight edge to work with. Now I have to grab my glasses so I can see. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to come along and cut right on this 0 mark so that I have a really good straight edge to start with first. And let me come along and I'm going to mark that or cut that. And I got to make sure that's in there. And I got to make sure my blade is open. And now I have a nice even edge to start. And actually I want to move this down to that black line, and I'm going to cut that again. Okay, now if I want 2.5-inch strips, I don't have to go along here and count. I can just go to the black square. Okay, so now I'm going to come along here and just cut on every single black square. So that was my first one. Here's another one. Here's another one. And I'm just going to keep going along because for the particular pattern that I am using, I need 26 2.5-inch strips. So I'm just going to cut that many so far, and then when I lift this up, I have my edge cut off. Well, sort of, because I put it on the wrong line first. And then I just have 2.5-inch strips, and I didn't have to pick up my ruler. So that was that easy. All right, so the other thing that you can do with this, say you needed a whole bunch of 2-inch squares. So this strip I cut into 2 inches. You can lay your 2-inch strip down. You could lay several down actually, and as long as you have them straight, just put it on your fabric, cut it at your 0, and then just start cutting 2 inches, and then you would have 2-inch squares. Let me show you how that looks. So I cut it at my 0, and now I'm cutting it at 2. And if I can get it in there straight, because I don't have my reading glasses on. And I can quickly, without moving my ruler, cut a whole lot of 2-inch squares. And there you go. Then the other thing that you can do, especially if you're an English paper piecer, let me show you how this works. So a lot of times you make diamonds for English paper piecing and you're having to cut a 60-degree angle. If you lay your strip in here, and this is also cut at 2 inches, and you find that this has 2 angles on it, there is a 60 and there's a 45. So if I line this strip up, and I want to make this a little straighter for it so it's easier for me to cut. If I line this strip up with my 60-degree line on this ruler, I can come across and cut 2-inch diamonds and get those cut very quickly, again without having to move my ruler. And I'll show you how that works. And so now we have a really nice diamond cut. And this is, like I said, this is really great for English paper piecing. And then let me show you one more thing. I always recommend the block lock ruler for cutting half square triangles, but sometimes you get those hourglass triangles too, where you have 4 triangles to make a square. But I'm going to show you with this particular square that you can see here that there is places to line up. So here's a 3-inch square, a 4-inch, and you can also use your 1/2-inch marks as well. This will cut 1/2 inches. And I want to get this squared up, so I'm going to lay this on here, and let's say for argument's sake I want it to be a 3-inch triangle or a 4-inch triangle. I can cut this at my 0. I'm having a hard time seeing because of the glare. So I can cut this at my 0. I'm still lined up on my 45, and I can line this up on my 4. I will take this away, and that is trimmed up perfectly. And then I'm going to turn it one more time and do the exact same thing. So I want this to be at my 4, and then I can trim up. Oh, I got to turn it the other way. And then I can trim up the other way, because now I have my perfect edge. I can lay this on here and then trim it up to the 4-inch mark. And then you will have the perfect half square triangle. So those are several things that you can do with the Stripology ruler. It's not just a one-trick pony. I hate buying rulers that can only do one thing. And this comes in the XL, which is the extra large. It comes in a regular size and it comes in a mini. So I really do recommend this ruler. I like it for a whole lot of things. And it is called the Stripology Ruler. This is Judy from Sunday from the Sewing Room. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.